All right, affordable wireless microphone system. That's what the title says. That's what we're talking about. It's the Saramonic SR-WM4C wireless microphone SR-WM4C wireless microphone system. I just picked it up on eBay, $120 Canadian to my door. I think it's awesome. Let's dive into it. So, what do you get in the box? You get your receiver. You get a receiver in the box. The receiver is the part that hooks up to your audio recording device, whether that be your camera or like a separate audio recording device like the Zoom H1. That's what the receiver does. The receiver has your 3.5mm jack output. It has power on off. You can choose your different frequency settings, and it's got a volume button and a headphone jack to monitor your sound if you need to. From what I can tell, the volume button on this is actually your gain setting. So it's not setting the volume to what you hear on your headphones. It's actually adjusting the gain, the microphone gain that's coming into the receiver. So be careful with that. I might be wrong, and if I'm wrong, let me know down below, but that's what I gather this is doing from what I've experimented with. Comes with a cold shoe mount, or a belt clip if you want it, and then your standard AA battery tray, which is pretty awesome. And that's all there is to it. On the other end, you have your transmitter. The transmitter, similar device. It's got your microphone input. It's got the channel select, on and off, and then just a light to let you know it's working. Your belt clip, same AA battery tray, and that's all there is to a transmitter. That's all you really need. Now, the one thing to note about this, your microphone system or your microphone setup is mini XLR, so it's not a 3.5mm jack, which is kind of a pain in the butt if you wanted to stick your own microphone system on it. That's the one thing I don't like about it. However, you probably can get an adapter to go from 3.5mm to mini XLR. I tried it, I couldn't get it to work. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't just use the microphone that comes with it. It's got a clip, it's got a windscreen, and so far it sounds amazing, so I would just stick with this. So basically that's it in a nutshell. What else about it? I think it's got like a 5-hour battery life, can go 60 meters line of sight, distance wise, and it runs in the 200 megahertz very high frequency range, VHF. That's pretty much it. So I'm not going to be a technical guy. I'm just going to put it to use in scenarios that I think I would use it in, and maybe push the limits a little bit just to see how far it can go. So what we're doing right now is we're at the top floor of a second-story house, my house, and I'm going to hook up this wireless system, and I'm going to go down to the basement, see if it still works, see if you're still getting sound. I'm going to hook it up to my Canon 6D. By the way, the sound you're hearing right now is the Canon 6D onboard audio. Okay, so I am going to hook up the Saramonic lav system, and we're going to do some comparisons with a lot of things. I've got the comparison I can do with the Zoom H1 with a lav setup. I've got lots of cameras and microphones if I need to do comparisons for you, but the main thing is to see how this sounds and how far you can go and what kind of interference, and is the audio going to cut out, and when is it going to cut out, and blah 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 blah. Let's get right into that. So the main thing we do here is we take your receiver with a cold shoe mount, is going to go directly on the hot shoe of my Canon 6D, and then this simply plugs in to the microphone jack, 3.5mm. You got to make sure the thing's on. You got to make sure both the transmitter and the receiver are on the same frequency, A, B, C, or D. Just link them up. That's all there is to it. So let's get this on the camera and see how it sounds. I'm just going to plug right in while this is recording, because I'm badass like that. Okay, I'm hoping this is working. I'm guessing it's working. So this is transmitter, belt clip, and antenna. And now all of this audio is Saramonic's wireless system with the lavalier microphone. And I guess now what we can do is I'm going to run down into the basement, into my dungeon studio, maybe show off a few things down there, talk. You can hear my annoying voice if it works. If not, then, well, then it sucks. I'll even give you guys a little onboard audio demo of Samsung's NX500 so you can compare to that. Maybe sync up some sound somehow. I think that syncs the sound. Here we go. Okay, so I'm out in the hallway, no big deal. Here, let's see what this, that's my fancy schmancy ring light on a battery pack. Pretty cool, eh? But that's not why we're here. We're gonna go downstairs, testing the audio obviously, see what kind of troublemakers are down here. Yeah, that guy for sure. So I'm on the main level of my house. Wireless receivers upstairs in the bedroom, and I have no idea if it's working. So let's go. Man, I think the Samsung lens is breaking because the focus is hunting like crazy. I am now all the way in the basement in my little dungeon area. There's an old school ring light. And I have no idea if the sound's going to be working. But also, let's test out the sound on the NX500, the onboard sound. All right, this is the sound on the NX500 onboard. It's not bad, but at least you can compare it to the Saramonic lavalier setup that we're on. Man, this focus is going nuts. This lens is like broken for sure. So this is not normally how this camera acts. I might have beat the crap out of it. So we're still in the basement, still testing audio and all that fun stuff. So now I'm going to go back upstairs. Oh look. Can you say something? Yeah, good boy. So that like is definitely not a scenario that I would be actually using this system in. Thanks. That's not really a realistic scenario. That's pushing it. I don't see why you would ever need to be 2 stories apart, but you might. And hopefully the audio worked. Let's set up some distance tests. This thing claims 60 meters in perfect condition, so let's, I guess I'm gonna have to bundle up and go outside. It's freezing cold outside, but I'm gonna go across the street, out into the park, and see if the audio cuts in or out or whatever, how it's gonna perform. So let's get that set up. Okay guys, right away I noticed some issues, and I already talked about them. That gain control knob on your receiver is, well, it's your gain control, and I had it cranked right to the top, so that whole first portion was probably blown out a bit. I don't know what the technical term is, but the gain was way too high. The microphone input was way too high. I think I might be able to correct it a little bit in post, but I don't really want to, except for to reduce the volume a little bit. So that's why it's important to do a sound check before you actually start recording things with your headphones. So now my headphones are actually plugged into the receiver, and I'm kind of getting an idea of how things are. And yeah, I can tell that this is definitely my gain control. So this is all the way up at the top, and this is me lowering it. I don't know exactly where to put it. So that's something you're going to have to experiment with, and then figure out what works for you guys. So I think the main thing is just make sure you don't max it out, because it's going to get that nasty sound. I think. I'm not an audio nerd, so I don't know a lot about this stuff. But I know what sounds good and what doesn't sound good, so I still think this is pretty awesome. I did review the video footage, and it sounded like there was no cutouts going all the way down to the basement, which is pretty awesome. So Well, let's go on an adventure outside, get some vitamin D, and see if this thing works at distance. Well, we'll just see where it cuts out, if it even cuts out. That's up next. Okay, so I think I'm all set up. I'm indoors at the top floor, pointing out the window. That telephone pole that's straight. Here, let me sync up my audio for this. That telephone pole that is straight out there, I would say is easily over 60 meters. I'm thinking around 200 feet. At least to that pole. So that's where I'm going to walk out to, and we're going to see where it cut out or when it cut out, even if it cuts out. And I'm also going to try not to get hit by a car. But we're all set up. I adjusted my gain so that I think it's a lot better. So hopefully the sound quality is good-ish, but we'll see. Let's go freeze our butts off. I guess I should talk since I'm hooked up to it. I just got to find some shoes to put on. Okay, let's go freeze. So I'm now outside, and hopefully there's a little bit of a breeze because I've got a windscreen on here, and we're going to test out and see if you still get good audio with that. But I'm in my backyard. You should be able to see my goofy self going out the backyard, out the gate, and jaywalking. Whoa. It's like minus 25, or it's like minus 20. Yeah, about minus 20. And I'm across the street now. And here's something fun we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a test of the onboard action camera audio of the WM4C. So we're going to test that out. 3, 2, 1. Okay, this is onboard audio for Yi's action cam, the 4K. Not the plus version, but just the 4K. We all know action cams have really crappy audio. So let's go back. This is Saramonic. Now I have no idea if this is working, but I'm really far away. So if it's working, it's awesome. But I'm going to try to make it to this pole. I would say easily 200 feet out to this pole, and it might be cutting out. If it's cutting out, I'll switch to my action cam audio so you know what I'm saying. But I'm at this pole, and there's line of sight through the window. It's pretty bright out here. Let's just keep walking just in case it's working perfectly. And we'll go into another neighborhood here in Calgary. And it's actually pretty nice out, even though it is freezing. But I don't know, when I get this into Final Cut Pro, I'll really get a good idea of whether this audio is worth it. I'll throw it up on YouTube for you guys, and I'll be sure to put all the links in the description down below of all the fun toys that I'm using to get this. So I walked another 50 feet past that pole at least. I don't know if it cut out or not, but here we're gonna go back, because that's it. I don't need it to perform better than that. I don't even need it to perform as good as that. It's a pretty cool system. So other than that, guys, I hope you guys toss a lot of comments down below, even if if you hated it or if you liked it, and maybe some comments on what you might want to see or hear in future upcoming videos. I know you guys liked all the girls and stuff here. I'm going to try not to get hit by a car. I might get hit by a car. That's called jaywalking. Well, my name's Jay, so that's legit. Other cool facts for you guys. I switched my Instagram over to Preset Guy. So you guys can follow me there. I'm kind of pushing the Lightroom presets because, well, they're super awesome. I love them so much for my editing workflow. But yeah, this is Saramonic's wireless microphone system, and I don't know, I guess we're gonna figure out if it's awesome or if it sucks. But thanks for watching, guys, and like always, like, subscribe, dislike, comment, hate, troll, do all that fun stuff. My wife is glaring at me. My kids have lost their minds. And stay creative. Here, I'll get back on camera screen over here. I don't know how to work this. Yeah, it is pretty cold out. I literally don't know how to work this. All right, so that's it. I don't know where the focus is on this 35mm. It's all manual, so that was it. Take care, guys.